Welcome back. This is Robin Minds. If you're watching me, you would probably agree that it's very important for you to have multiple streams of income. That is why if you notice, most of our churches have schools. If you walk into a pharmacy, that pharmacy has probably expanded to become a supermarket. I know of a doctor who has a hospital and a mortuary at the same time. I mean, whatever happens, the money does not leave. In fact, even has an event planning company that will supply you undertakers for the burial. My point is, it is very possible to dominate multiple industries. My guest today is not a doctor of doom. He's a doctor of happiness. Through comedy, music, and television shows, he has spread happiness to millions of households worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, he has proven to be jack of all trades and master of all. Bright Obocha, a.k.a. Badman Bob, a.k.a. Eze Guruburu,
yes,
a.k.a. Basket Mouth.
Alpha.
I do.
That's your intro. That's nice.
Thank you.
Very fresh.
Thank you. I was auditioning for your next project.
Alpha.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ghana Jollof is amazing. It's spectacular. I love the project, and thank you so much for changing the African narrative and pushing our stories out there.
Thank you. So you've seen an episode there?
Yes. It's
great.
Fantastic. Yeah. I like the fact that it's not just, you're not looking at Nigeria alone. You're seeing how you can, encompass and let's front Africa together.
As a unit, yeah.
As a unit. Well, how do you do it? You released an album, Yabasi. You have another body of work coming.
Yeah.
Of course, Flatmates is one of the most watched show on television. And right after that, you had Papa Benji.
Yeah.
How do you find time to even still do your stand-up? Because you also have a show coming up very soon in London. So how do you put all these things together?
It's planning, actually. The London show was planned 2 years ago. Papa Benji I started planning Papa Benji a long time ago. Ghana Jollof, if you have been paying attention, you'll notice that I posted the first artwork on Ghana Jollof, posted way back in March. So everything is just planning. Like what I'm about to, there's a new project that we are working on that's coming out next year. We're already working on it right now. So it's just all about planning. And yeah, that's all we do. We just plan. And the thing is, I do not believe in, sometimes when people pay tithes, right? You expect the money to come from, some people just expect somebody who just give you one job. No. I believe that sometimes the way God gave us back, the 1,000-fold or 100-fold is by ideas. You understand? Because your idea is worth ₦1 billion, so to speak. So most times, after anything, I get it. You understand? I know when maybe, for instance, after I pay my tithe or something, 2-3 ideas just pops into my head. I just thank God. Say, God, thank you very much. So the thing is, I run with the ideas because I believe that it's a gift. You understand? He gave it to me to use it. So I run with it. That's why you see me, I just run with everything. And for some funny reason, they all work out. They work out perfectly.
It's amazing. And also, thank you for giving me the exclusive that you pay tithes.
I do.
If you're watching, Basket Mouth pays tithes.
I do.
Okay, I love your evolution. You came into the comedy scene when the industry had not yet had, like a proper structure like it has now. And you conquered, and you're still conquering that sphere. You moved from, telling the indigenous African story. Now you are on international tours. I know you toured with Rochelle Peters. That was way before the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And I also saw your routine at Laugh Factory, and I didn't even see Nigerians there. I saw Caucasians, I saw people, of different nationalities. So can you just sort of tell us a bit about your growth and how you saw the need to sort of evolve as Basket Mouth?
Okay, so when I wanted to, this whole thing started from music. Music is my first love, was my first love. And interestingly, comedy is the third. Movie and TV was the second one.
Wow.
The first time I tried to do any kind of production was in 1997. Somewhere in Festac, we tried to make a movie with something. So I've been into this thing for so long. Like with music, I found myself playing the drums. Nobody taught me how to play it. So those were the things that I thought that, oh boy, see the talent, this is what God has blessed me with. So I ran with them. You understand? After that, I went to TV, I did music, then wanted to do TV. I did not know that all this while comedy was just there. So when I discovered that comedy was, what I should use, then I started using it. And I did, and I used it well. But all through the journey, in my mind, the TV and music, which is the reason why, if you notice, my website is basketmouth.tv. As you know, most people go with .com.
.com, yes.
I always wanted to do TV. So from like 15 years ago, that's what we say. That's why I said planning.
Yeah.
So because of I had the dream, I said going towards that direction. And in terms of stand-up comedy, I wanted to run through it. I've done over 2 decades right now. My dream was Russell Peters is actually one of the biggest influences I've had in comedy. And when I found myself working with him, I was like, this is a blessing. So I ran with it. We need a show. We need to be those type of a show.
Yeah, at all. Cause
but I swear that was one of my best time. Like, the experience was amazing. I did gigs. Most of the gigs we did, 20,000 people. Not my show, it's his show.
Yeah.
All sold out. So
but I saw Russell Peters is saying on Instagram that you inspire him. Russell said you inspire him.
He inspires me too.
And I also heard that one of your jokes was just tearing back to back. There are two things involved.
Yeah, they love my set out there. And, the first time I did it, he just called me. They didn't even, there was no intro, nothing. Like, there was they didn't like the way you did it. You finessed it. They just said, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Nigeria, Africa, Basketmouth. Nobody clapped. 20,000 people. I walked in. The room was dark.
Wow.
I stood right in front of the microphone. There was a spotlight right on top of me. I could hear my heart.
Can you imagine?
And immediately the light came on. The clap started. And when they started clapping, everything came down. When I started the routine. What? I killed it.
I know.
I didn't know how I did it, but I killed it. So that's my, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I've done over 20 decades of that stuff, like going on stage, performing. I'm not tired. I'm going to be a stand-up comedian for the rest of my life.
Of course.
But then again, there's so much to explore, like with music, you understand, with TV. So which is the reason why I'm like, in as much as, so before the pandemic was when I had the idea came for Papa Benji, for the album. And when with the music, yeah, it was an opportunity. I saw it and I grabbed it. You understand? That wasn't the time to do music. Music was supposed to be next year. So when I saw that, with Papa Benji, you can actually drop a soundtrack album and just use that to break into the industry and introduce yourself. So Yabaz was more or less like my introductory project. And now what we're about to drop next is the one that I want people to really pay attention to.
Amazing. It did so well. It has millions of streams.
Yes,
and then you featured all the big artists, all the big names. Basketmouth. Every time I'm just listening to the radio, I hear basket. I've also noticed that you're very, very concerned about social commentary. Comedy is one of the ways where, we sort of speak truths to power. So your series on Instagram, The Brighter Side of Things. The Bright Side of Things. You use it to sort of speak truth to power. How important is social commentary as a comedian?
Yeah, different comedians with different styles, different ways of passing messages. I am that kind of comedian that I tell stories, right? And I am very honest with my work, and I see things, I feed from my environment. And unfortunately, my environment has been so toxic, you understand? I can't pull humor from what is not around me. What's around me is what we all know about. You understand? This is terrible. And so I was like, a lot of people, we tend to forget a lot. You understand? And if you remember, I get some people supposed to take power right now. You understand? So what I try to do is I use my own platform, that community that I have, to just sort of like remind people, and I just can't come and start telling them. So I try to be very cerebral with the way I do it. So I use the bright side, just to remind people. And when I started doing the committee, I don't know if you follow.
Yeah, of course. I did it with Buchi and Nedu.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring back the committee when campaign starts. That's when I'll bring back the committee. And the reason why I want to bring you back is because I just want to remind everybody about what is going on out there. So if you want to make a choice, let's make the right one. Because now for me, we go like, we go like, these government people, they need to travel, make them see how things be outside. They do. They see how it is outside. But, in Nigeria, corruption is actually the reason why we are together. Corruption be our bond. Without corruption, trust me, the Igbo man, no one using I see the other tribe. That also no one see the other. They don't care. So the only reason why you see them come together and live in harmony is because of they all have their own personal and selfish agenda and interest. And it shouldn't be that way. You get so. I go outside and I see these things. I'm not the government. So what I do is, once I see that entertainment space, I bring it and I apply it into my own industry.
Yeah.
So instead of for us to start going, oh, the government do this, why not just go and apply your own industry, and let's grow each industry in the best way that we can. Because if we right now we provide our own power, our own water, our own security. To a large extent, some people are providing their own roads. If you can't, you have to buy a car. All of a sudden, we are all driving SUVs for town. Do you understand why? Because of it's not like you see they're using. Oh, if you vote for me, I'll give you light. Really, light? And they promise us for 2023 power supply. So when I see these things, and you all see small Ghana here. I'm sorry, Ghana. So, well, yeah, Ghana are like Lagos and half of Abeokuta. And you go to their airport, from their airport to the road, to the way things are done. And I'm like, our guys need receiving the copy. Why don't you copy these things?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm about to say this. I believe that, the way some people fit thief money now to repair one thing over and over again. Yeah. You understand? I know you've been saying, I didn't know it's secret.
No, it's everybody
it's everywhere.
So
they do this thing over and over again because no repair the road. If you repair the road, how will you chop money next time? You don't know that it's more money if things work. Do you understand?
Because there's room for development, more development.
Yes.
You've really said it. You've really said it.
And at the end of the day, everybody will be happy.
Happy.
Light, bro, with light, just small power. Do you know what things to change? True. The small Twitter boys, they use the hustle, then banner. Cryptocurrency will banner very soon. It will ban me.
So how hard is it to do comedy these days? I'm just trying to paint a scenario here with the whole Dave Chappelle backlash, because he talked about the trans community. So I'm not saying you should refer to that particularly, but how hard is it, doing comedy? Because every topic seems to be sensitive these days.
Yes, it's very difficult. Like, for instance, now, let me start from the bright side. If you pay attention to the bright side, I never mention the name of anybody because I want to be alive. Do you understand? In some areas, if you want to say things, you have to, water it down to the point whereby it waters down your own material. So I see what's happening with Dave Chappelle, and I'm like, damn. And I love his bravery. I love the fact that he's very honest with what he's doing. I've seen the set. There's nothing wrong with that set. That was the truth. So the people that are against him, they are not it's not that community. It's just some other people that just want things to go in a certain way. You understand? That's the reason why it's all irrelevant to me as far as I'm concerned. It affects me as well because, bro, right now, there are some materials that we can't even go near. Because if you try it, you don't know the backlash. And even the world is just a small place, social media. Just one small post, you can't do a gig.
Just outside. Like what happened to Kevin Hart. He was supposed to host the Oscars
Something
and then he pulled
did
up
many
the
years
tweet.
ago. Like, and he apologized. Like, why bring it back? So everybody is just, at the end of the day, maybe in the next 20 years, nobody going to laugh again. No comedy going to just look at ourselves. Because right now they don't want anybody to speak the truth.
Yeah.
So I love that set. I swear, one of the best I've seen. And Dave is one of my favorite, man. He never gets it wrong. And if you go back to Dave Chappelle's show, he's been like that since, even down from his stand-up comedy. Yeah. I like that about him.
Cool stuff. Now, we see the very successful Basket Mouth, successful musician, successful comedian, successful media entrepreneur, and executive producers of award-winning shows. can we talk about your failures? You know, can you sort of share those down times? You know, even when you tried to be part of a rad group and, you know, you didn't succeed and all of that. I personally, I think I would count one of my failures as the day I came to perform at your comedy clubs and I just totally bombed. Yes.
Are you serious?
I totally bombed. I bombed so bad. And this was a set I've done somewhere else and it was funny. And I brought it, I don't know whether it was the fear of basket mouths or the fear of the audience. Yeah, so I said I was going to say it on the show. I bombed. In fact, that has been my worst stand-up comedy experience.
Okay.
So tell me, what has been your worst, you know, experience as a brand?
As a brand, as a stand-up comedian, I've had bad shows too. Trust me. I've been booed off stage before. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You've been booed off stage. You people even encouraged me.
But the thing is, that's your motivation. That's the drive. That's me. The obstacle is my way. You understand? If I fail for this thing and I know that I'm good at it, I'll go back again and try and look at what I did wrong. Like don't give up. Come back again and do it until you get it right. Now for me, I make mistakes, yes, but I'm very calculated. Like before I go into anything, beyond the fact I don't listen to, I'm not influenced by what I see. I'm influenced by, it might sound weird to some people, but I'm influenced by God. Do you understand? I do not make decisions, which is the reason why it's almost impossible for me to get things wrong. And there's sometimes like Ghana Jollof, Showmax, we're not the first people I presented Ghana Jollof to. I actually took it to Netflix through someone, and they were like, "Yeah, it's dope," but I like, know what? I know it's here. I know it's here. I get. I know it's here. I know. Don't worry. I took it to the next people through Wangi. Wangi was the one I spoke with, and she hooked me up with. She sent it in, and the next week they were like, "We like it. We'll do it." So imagine if I had taken that thing and like, "Oh, it's not good enough." I don't back out, but I didn't do that. I was like, so that's the kind of person. When I know and I trust what I have, and I know it's going to work. And the good thing is, I surround myself with people who tells me the truth. You understand? I don't move around with sycophants, and that's why you'll notice that my unit, my clique, very strong, very small and strong. They will tell me the truth. If I tell them, look, guy, this is what I'm working on. What do you think? Yeah, it's dope, but I feel, you know what? Don't worry about it. Leave it. I'm like, okay, why? And they'll tell me the reasons why. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm not stubborn about it. Now, and that's one of the things that made me, I'm sorry, are we out of time? Yes, now you ask questions. So, like, in terms of music, I got into music because I saw a vacuum as well. There was an opening. You don't have executive producers in Nigeria per se. Musicians, they are executive producers.
Yeah.
But, you know, since you with the outside now, you say, and I'm an artist.
Yeah.
We make, thanks to Dr. Seth, we make music in colors, not with sound.
Amazing.
So,
we're actually out of time
to go now. So
Thank
guys,
you. Please close the show. Just go on a break for us. Go on a break for us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to go on a short break. I'm your host, Bright Opocha, Robin Minds. Let's rub some minds. So
that was good.